Most drafts, whether it's football or basketball, have a for sure fire number one pick. One draft that didn't was the NBA 2020 draft. Leading up to the draft, there was questions about LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, and the guy we're discussing today, Anthony Edwards. Edwards' love of the game, shooting ability was all a big question mark. And me and my co-host Juan, we were calling him Football Boy earlier in the year. And I have to say I was wrong. And over the course of the year, I did a 180 on this guy. And I think there's special written all over him. I'm Max from the Max&JuanCast. I'm alone, abandoned by the podcast I love today.
It's up to me. One man alone, betrayed by the country he loves. Now it's last hope in the final hour of need.
And for those of you that don't know, we do have a podcast. Maybe you've only seen these type of NBA breakdown videos. Me and my co-host Juan, we talk about a wide array of topics in sports. You guys should check it out. You should like this video, comment, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for post notifications. Let's get into it. For this video, we're going to do things a little differently. Usually we get to the end of the video and I tell you what I think, but we're going to start with that this time. Anthony Edwards doesn't really have an NBA comp. He's more of a Donovan Mitchell, DK Metcalf hybrid. He's a football player in a basketball player's body, and I mean that in the most respectful and positive way. Most basketball players shy away from contact and just don't have that special physicality and athleticism, but Edwards has all these in spades. We're going to cover his game-breaking athleticism, his shooting, playmaking, and defense. Marvel's Ant-Man requires the use of insects to fly, but this Ant-Man needs no help flying. He's part 747 where he can just glide around safely, and part fighter jet where he can just explode and get to where he needs to be. Every big in the league needs to be aware of him when he gets downhill, and they need to keep their head on a swivel. We've all seen the play against the Toronto Raptors where he's baseline, he's going to take one dribble, and he is going to make this guy into a meme, a poster, whatever you want to call it. People are going to look at this play and see, wow, this guy can really fly. He's athletic. But that's not what athleticism is. It's strength, it's quickness, it's speed. And Edwards, you have to talk about it like he's a football player, because partly he is a football player. You need football terminology to talk about Edwards' athleticism. It's explosive, twitchy. He has the ability to stick his foot in the turf, or should I say hardwood, and go. There's times where he looks like a running back just splitting double teams. In his athleticism, it's with the ball in his hands and it's without the ball in his hands. Let's look at some plays where he's trying to get open off the ball. This is where the running back in him shines. Look at the way he just sticks his foot in the hardwood. I almost said turf. And look at the space he's able to create cutting. Cutting's not something people really talk about. It's not something teams that are like, oh, we need this guy because he can cut really good. It's just something special that not everyone can do. Guys like LeBron in his prime, they would make 3 cuts a game and you're like, oh my God, how can that guy do that? And Edwards is no different. He moves like Kemba Walker, except Kemba Walker is 6 feet tall and 184 pounds. He's 6'4", 225. The only people that are heavier than him at his size are Taylor Horton-Tucker, Jayshawn Tate, and Royce O'Neal. But just look at their bodies compared to Edwards. He's built like a running back. There's a difference in it, especially with Horton-Tucker. He's lean and skinny. Edwards is built and muscular. His running back frame comes in handy when he's being guarded by smaller guards. They're going to feel like they were in a car crash the night they play him. He's going to bully them and overwhelm them physically. As we transition into shooting, he can be as good a shooter as Klay Thompson. Maybe I'm drinking a little bit too much of the Anthony Edwards Kool-Aid, but my guy shot 500 threes last year. That's a lot. And unlike Ben Simmons, Philly, who's too afraid to shoot him, my man has no fear out there. Watching Edwards last year, it was a lot of feast or famine, 7 for 8 from 3 or 0 for 7 type performances. But it's not about the percentages. Now, I know that seems counterintuitive, but think about when you were a kid, when you were learning to play basketball or whatever you played. How do you get better at doing something? You do it. You practice it. Hey, I'm going to get better at shooting threes, so what do you have to do? You have to shoot a lot of threes. He's not hopeless. He shot 33% from 3 as a rookie. Does Edwards have a problem with his shot selection? Yes, absolutely. And he does himself no favors by taking ill-fated, off balance, off one leg, leaning back, fade away, mid-range jump shots. There's no reason to increase the difficulty of your shot, and Edwards seems to be really good at doing that. But shot selection is something that can be fixed over time. Coaches can say, hey, instead of taking that long two, take a three. We've seen that way too much in the NBA lately. People are going to point to those mid-range numbers as, hey, he can't get better. But when you look at his numbers compared to Donovan Mitchell as a rookie, they're almost identical. Same amount of volume, similar percentages. And now we think of Donovan Mitchell as a knockdown shooter. Edwards' mechanics, they're not bad at all. Solid base, good vertical lift. And yeah, he kind of has a little elbow in his jump shot, and sometimes it's flat. But all the basis is there to make a good jump shot. He's going to tweak it. He said quotes about, hey, I'm going to get better at this. He bought into it, and he got better throughout the year at it. There is work to do, but the Ant-Man has a solid foundation. Marvel's Ant-Man and this Ant-Man have one big difference. He doesn't have the ability to change his size at will. Standing at 6'5", he doesn't really have the handle or size to play real point guard, and he's too small to be that Luka Doncic, LeBron James type orchestrator. But as a rookie, when the Wolves were losing guys left and right like Cat, D'Lo, they threw his ass to the fire. At times, was it a slog? Was it grindy? Was it ugly? Yeah. But Minnesota didn't panic. They said, it's more valuable to give this guy the ability to grow and learn on the fly than it is to just have team success. Earlier in the year, you can see instances where Edwards is out of control, head down. I'm a football player. I'm going to bull my way to the basket. And he just turns the ball over. Throughout the year, he displayed more comfortability in pick and roll situations. The amount of pick and roll opportunities for him doubled. He's never really going to have that Kyrie Irving ball on a string type handle. But unlike Kyrie Irving, he's got an amazing first step and quick twitch ability. When you combine a good handle, and you can see how comfortable he is handling the ball, with an amazing first step or athleticism, he's going to blow by people left and right. And luckily for him, he's surrounded by a really good cast of characters and the perfect pick and roll partner in Cat. Unlike most players like Rudy Gobert or Bam Adebayo who just have to roll to the basket and catch a lob, Cat can pick and pop. If he can drag the big guys out of the paint, Edwards is going to feast in there. It's important to surround young guys by the right talent, and with Cat, the Wolves have the potential to have one of the best pick and roll combos for years to come. As we come to the conclusion about Edwards' game, we have to talk about his defense. Like all rookies, he really struggled on this end of the court. He's a 19-year-old just out of college. He's going to struggle. That's the hardest adjustment to make when it comes to the NBA. Too often was he just lazily ball watching, and he was guilty of being in no man's land. He wasn't really helping out on the drive, and he wasn't guarding his guy on the perimeter. There is a silver lining. When he's on and engaged in the play, Edwards is good on defense. He has all the physical tools. He's 6'4", 225, 6'10" wingspan. He has all the tools to be good on this end. When he's matched up on big athletic guards, that's where his running back frame and his otherworldly athleticism shines. Because guys like Russell Westbrook, they're used to running over little guards and getting to the rim. Edwards is a brick wall. And then he makes those highlight reel blocks that we've come accustomed to seeing from Giannis, LeBron, even D-Wade back in the day. And that's great news for the Wolves, who have sucked since KG and have no franchise cornerstone since. They need elite two-way players. The answer isn't D'Lo. The answer isn't Cat. The best thing he ever did was get yelled at by Jimmy Butler at a practice session. The answer is the guy they took first overall in 2020, Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Comment down below your thoughts on Anthony Edwards. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and check out these videos here. I'm out. Peace.